Okay, come on, bring it in, bring it in. Listen up, bring it in, take a knee. Listen up. You ever found yourself standing on the edge of quitting where you feel like you've given everything you have and you're still coming up short? These are the moments of exhaustion and disappointment that maybe quitting might be the easier route to go. Maybe it's the easiest choice. While quitting might be a temporary relief, it's definitely going to rob you of your growth and breakthrough. We've all been there. I've even been there. I've had times as a coach, especially as a female coach, and I'm not going to go into it in detail, but I will tell you there have been, I had a season, I had a year where I had a coach I was working with, and granted, all the other coaches I worked with are great, but I had one coach who really made my life a living hell every single day. And he did push me to the brink at a couple times where I felt like quitting because he was relentless. He really was. And he would do it when no one else was around, so it couldn't be seen. And then it did blow up in his face one day, actually at a game, and it cost him his job, which I'm glad everybody else had my back. But prior to that, it was uh, it was really difficult. And I can remember going out to my truck after a practice and calling my dad because I'd call my dad every day after practice or before a game. And I told him, I said, Dad, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I said, this guy doesn't let up. I said, everything I do, I said, he undermines me, he belittles me in front of my players. It's if I do something, he goes in and changes it, he pulls my people. And he's like, well, what do you want to do? I said, I go, I don't know. I said, I love working with the kids. I love my guys. I mean, this is great. When he's not around and he's out of my face, everything runs very smoothly. I mean, we've got this. I mean, at the time I was a special teams coordinator, and we were doing extraordinary things. My kicker went on to be a five-star kicker. My long snapper went on to college. I have a couple other guys that got some extraordinary offers and went on to play. And even those that didn't, they still went on to be good people. However, during that time frame of just trying to constantly questioning this, my dad's like, you know what? Don't give him the satisfaction. That's what he wants you to do. He wants you to quit. He's trying to prove that you don't belong there. He is trying to prove that you don't know what you're doing. He said, the best way to beat him, he said, success is the best revenge. And I'm like, huh, I didn't think about it like that. And he goes, the guys love you. The kids love you. You're doing your job. You're scoring things. You're making everything work. When you're doing your part, and as long as you're doing your job and everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, then you don't need to prove anything about yourself because your success on the field is going to already determine how good of a coach you are. And I sat there and said, no, Dad, you're right. You're right. I think I've allowed this guy to creep in my head and judge me. And it's been a part of me that I have just allowed him to get into. And he said, well, don't do it. He said, and my dad always had the best saying. He's like, the hell with it. He said, just do what you need to do. He goes, and you'll be fine. And sure enough, he was right. I got back out on the field and I just ignored him. Whenever something came up, as soon as he walked away, I went right back to what I was doing and undid what he did. And the guys knew it. And it just made my life a lot easier. So what happens? Why all of a sudden do we feel like we want to quit? And I just gave you my story. I had a lot of it was the outside judgment, that was coming at me left and right each and every day. And I had to put that aside. And that's something that we all have to do. You're going to have opinions. You're going to have people tell you you can't do something. You're not good enough. You'll never make it. Other people have started earlier than you. You know what? So what? It's not that important. If you are going to do what you want to do, it doesn't matter the timing. As long as you are focused and moving forward, anything you decide to do is going to work. Just keep pushing at it. And what if it didn't? Let's say it didn't. Let's say it didn't come to fruition of what you really wanted. The fact that you do something to move you forward in your life, whether it be physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, you're going to be better off than you are today. you're striving to always have a better tomorrow. So don't allow those judgments to creep in. Keep moving forward and doing what you want to do. That brings me to the next thing, which is overwhelming failure. Now, we're all going to have it. We're all going to have bad days where all of a sudden we're doing something and we're not going to get the results we expected, or you're going to get discouraged. Maybe we start believing that maybe we're not cut out for this. And that's not true. Those are all just excuses not to move forward. If you really want something, failure is not an option. It's just not. I mean, I say that quote because I love it. I mean, when NASA sends up astronauts, failure's not an option. You have got people where everything has got to work out right. And if you've ever seen the movie Apollo 13, failure was definitely not an option because they had to bring home those three astronauts based on everything that was thrown at them. And I look at this. So something might be thrown at you, and maybe it doesn't serve you or it's not doesn't have any value. So weed out what's not working and start focusing on the things that are. And then if you do have something that's not working, then I would suggest break it down, figure out what's happening, and go back to it, and go back to it in the smaller pieces until you do get it to work. And never believe that you're not cut out for something. You are. Whatever you're doing, you chose it for a reason. And there must be something inside you that is calling for you to do it. So don't ever think that you're not cut out for something, because you are. Everything you need is within you to make you unstoppable. If you don't see immediate rewards, that's okay. Everything is not going to be instant gratification. It's just not. I have watched my players, especially skill players, every day, whether they're running routes, whether they're trying to run something, and they do it over and over and over again. And then I see them get frustrated. I see them throw their hands up and go, "I can't do this." I'm like, "No, no, come here. Let's regroup. I don't need you to get frustrated. What I need you to do is I need you to stop and let's just break it down. Let's just do one thing at a time. One thing. Maybe it's just your footwork. So let's just work on that. Don't worry about catching the ball. What are your feet doing? Are they sticking in the right place? Are you turning? Where's your hips? Where's your eyes? Let's focus on that. Let's just focus from that area. And then once we have that down, now let's move to our upper body. Where's your shoulders? What are you doing? Where's your hands? And breaking things down can make it a lot easier to be able to see the progress. Whether you are going out there trying to do something, it's one step at a time. I've seen things that have a stack a mile long or a list a mile long of what we have to do. And if you try to accomplish every single one of those things in a short period of time, you're not going to get anywhere. Pick one thing that's going to be the foundation of what you need and that you can build everything else up on. And that's going to help you. Don't compare yourself to others. It's just not worth it. If I compared myself to every coach out there, I constantly be questioning. But on the other hand, what I do is if I have someone who's extraordinary, like you get a Nick Saban or a Bill Walsh, or you see a coach that's doing something or a player that's doing something extraordinary. What are they doing? What are they offering? What is the one thing that is being brought to the table, bringing out onto the field that is creating this success, a successful team, a successful culture, a success in everything that they're doing? What's the mindset? What are they offering? And that's what you need to do. When you are comparing yourself to others, don't compare what they've done, compare to what you're doing, but compare what do you need to learn to bring you to that next level to be there. And be like a sponge, learn. I do it all the time. When I'm working with defensive ends and defensive tackles, I watch film. And I'm not talking about just my guys. I watch film from some of the most extraordinary players. I mean, if I want a good defensive end, I look at all the Boses. I look at JJ Watt. I look at anybody, Aaron Darnold. I look at all of them. What are they doing? What makes them extraordinary? And I pick it apart. I pick every piece of that film apart and I look at it. Where's their feet? Where's their eyes? Where's their hands? And I learn. And so I can take that back to my guys and teach them to make them extraordinary. And it's no different. in the business world or anything you're doing? What is that one person doing that is making them the very top, the top 1%? And that's what you need to learn. And just learn one thing. You don't have to learn all of it. Take it at your own pace. The reality is, don't compare yourself to others, compete with yourself. If you are better tomorrow than you are today and yesterday, then you're going to be extraordinary and unstoppable. So keep that in mind. Just keep moving forward. And keep also uh, a lookout for being physically and emotionally burned out. You don't, this is not a race. This is not a sprint. It's a marathon. Success, everybody thinks, is a straight line. It's not. Take a big ball of yarn and actually better get, take a big knot where everything is just jumbled up in a big mess, and it might take you time to undo it. Well, that's the way success is. It's going to take time. It's going to get messy. It's going to get sticky. It's going to get rough. And you have to be able to pick yourself up and just keep moving forward with purpose and passion and reconnect with your why. What's the reason you started anyway? That's the most powerful thing. There's a reason you're doing this. There's a reason you want it. Taking a break is not a permanent exit. It's just an opportunity for you to kind of regroup, reassess, and just kind of put a pause on everything until you get more clarity. And that's okay, because sometimes we need to do that. And what I have found, that if I put a pause on something and come back to it, I come back stronger. I have like a fresh set of eyes on it, and I catch something maybe I didn't see before. Surround yourself with people that know what they're doing. Like I said, do your research, surround yourself with mentors, look for a community that's doing the same thing that can give you support. Having a fresh perspective will actually reignite and resonate what you want and what you're doing. And you may see something different that maybe you didn't see. And remember to celebrate the small wins. Progress might not always be massive, but recognizing small victories can build the momentum and your confidence. Every little thing that you do that is positive is going to be a small victory. And that's the thing you have to focus on. I think sometimes we get caught up on what's not working. We focus on that. We forget to celebrate the things that are. And that's what you need to leave your day with. And always, always, always visualize your finish line. Always visualize your end zone. Think of how you're going to feel when you achieve it. And when you have that vision, it's always going to pull you forward. It's always going to bring you to the point of where you're going to succeed. And you've got this. I mean, we all have got something inside us that we're looking to do. And if you take it and remember to move forward and believe it with every fiber of your being, you're going to be unstoppable. You really are. And everything that you're doing is going to be amazing towards not only for you, but for everybody that you're going to bring it to and what you're going to have to offer. Only you can offer whatever you've got, because you are unique and different, and no one else can do what you can. So everybody, okay, bring it in. Let's bring it up. Bring it up. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, break on me. Ready? Start strong, finish strong, and dominate everything in between. I'm Coach Mickey. Let's go.